What's up, everybody? All right, you guys. So before we get started, let me say this. This case does not have a lot of information, and we have to leave a lot of names out for legal reasons. So I'm still going to do my best to try to cover this case extensively and give you guys all the details that I have. So today we're going to be talking about the missing persons case of Shapammala Buckner. So in 2017, Shapammala was a vibrant 20-year-old and she lived in Houston. So she lived in the Forest Point apartments and she lived with her boyfriend who was in the military. So because he was in the military, he would not be at home a lot. He would frequently be out of town. So this would leave Shapammala at that apartment by herself a lot. But y'all, from what sources that are close to Shapammala are saying, the boyfriend had relatives that would frequently stay over the house. Now, allegedly, these relatives did not care for Shapammala. So on May 21st of 2017, Shapammala was home alone and the boyfriend was out of town. Now, this is when some of his relatives would come over to the apartment and they began to knock on the door. So Shapammala did not feel safe with this. She was home alone. Even though this was her boyfriend's relative, she did not want to let them in while she was there by herself. But the boyfriend told her, look, they're just trying to come over there and retrieve some belongings that they left over there prior. Just let them in so they can get their stuff and they can go. Now, this is where the story takes a very strange turn because allegedly, after she let those relatives in, they physically attacked her for hours. Now, the commotion was so loud to the point where a neighbor heard what was going down. She texted Shapammala asking, was she okay? And Shapammala was like, no, I need you to call police. Shapammala was also texting an aunt at this time and telling her what was going on as well. So that neighbor called police and police came over to the apartment, but nobody answered the door. But later on, the aunt is like, no, something is not right. I'm going over there as well. When she goes over there, the relatives actually come outside and close the door. They do not allow the aunt to go in. And they tell the aunt that Shapammala actually left with another man. Now, I got to stop the story right here and say this. If you go over to her Facebook that says Shapammala Buckner, she was deeply in love with that boyfriend. He is all over her page. There is more pictures of him and her than it is of her alone. So we know that not to be true. So the boyfriend, he's still out of town, but he's trying to reach Shapammala. He's texting her, he's calling her, she's not responding. Not only that, the family gets word that Shapammala is nowhere to be found as well. Y'all, it even gets to a point where nobody sees Shapammala. That neighbor goes to the front desk manager and tells her, look, y'all need to go check their apartment. Something went down in there. Now, the front desk manager, she doesn't go inside of that apartment, but she leaves a note on the door for Shapammala to contact her. And y'all, Shapammala is still nowhere to be found. So the family ends up filing a missing persons report, and that's when EquiSearch comes out. They try to search for her, but nobody finds Shapammala. Now, let me say this, you guys. The boyfriend was out of town when all of this took place. It was the boyfriend's relatives that were in that home, but police did question them, but they never arrested anybody or named anybody a suspect. Shapammala also left behind her phone, her keys, her purse. So we know that she did not walk outside of that apartment. Now, let me say this. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. We're not accusing anyone of anything. But this case drives me crazy because I have no idea why nobody was accused of even hurting this woman. Now, I know that technically without a body, they really can't say that she was killed. But I honestly believe that something went on in that apartment. They hurt her to the point where she was unalived. And before the boyfriend got back, before anybody could thoroughly investigate this, they got rid of her body. But this happened in 2017 and there is no answer. Somebody needs to be held responsible for whatever happened to Shapammala.
That they suspect, but they were never arrested or charged.
Do you guys believe that they harmed Shapammala?
I do.
So why didn't police take the messages that she sent to her aunt saying that she was being assaulted or the messages that she sent to that neighbor? Even if you couldn't get somebody on unaliving charges or kidnapping charges, you could have got them on those assault charges alone because they know that whatever they did to her that day caused her bodily harm. This case is wrong and it just shows you how they don't care about our cases. You knew where she was last seen. You have text message saying that something happened to her. You know who was in the apartment when that allegedly happened, but you're telling me that you have no evidence to suggest that there was a crime. Now, I'm doing this video so hopefully we can get some new eyes on this case and maybe somebody could help this family. As always, make sure you blow this up, share this. Let's get justice for Shapammala. Let's bring some answers to this case.